तुष्टुवागम तस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So friends, let us pray together. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all, thou art all, thou assumest all forms. Thou art the origin and goal of all, thou art the self of all. Thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss. Salutations unto thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Now Abhijit will chant an opening song. It is written by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Sanskrit, it is called Shikshashtakam, 8 verses on training or education. Of course, the translation doesn't have all the 8 verses, or has, so the singing will be only some verses. And tomorrow happens to be the birth anniversary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also that song relates to today's topic. So please join singing if you can. Yeah.
Hello. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned of its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O mind, bathe in His name, that bath for weary souls, drowning deep in the waves of His bliss, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned of its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. O Lord, various are thy names, in each and every name thy grace and power are present in full. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned of its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and his glory. No times are set, O Lord, for chanting of thy name. No rites are needful, so vast is thy mercy. How great then my poverty, who finds in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy holy name, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned of its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and his glory. O mind, be thou more humble than a blade of grass. Be forbearing and patient like a tree. Give honor to all, take no honor only to thyself. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned of its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and his glory. O Lord, mine is no prayer for pleasure, wealth, or fame. I want only steadfast devotion to thee. For thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. Do with me whatever thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That divine is perfect. This universe that emanates from the divine is perfect too. The universe comes from the Lord. When this perfect is taken away from that perfect, which remains is also perfect. Peace, peace, peace. Let us close eyes for a minute and feel the presence of God in our heart. God is the most beloved, never leaves us, never ever discards. God is the bliss eternal, the ultimate peace, infinite. To experience that divine is the goal of life. Om, peace, peace, peace. When in my childhood I used to hear that God created all of us, we were created by God, I used to get a question. But who created God? Who was the one that created God? God created all of us, okay. But then somebody might be there who has created God. Who created God? And then the questions got answered slowly, or let me put it, the answer got unfolded gradually. That it is a wonderful phenomena. And who created God? We created God. And then that God created us. It is something very, strange, but that is true. That we created God because we wanted some solutions to. And so Swami Vivekananda has put it very beautifully in his book Jnana Yoga. There is a chapter in it that Maya and the evolution of the concept of God. That is not evolution of God, but how the concept of God evolves. So he showed many ways in which people think God. And then just what is given in the Bible, he put it in the reverse way, that the Bible says that God created man in his own image. But more appropriate will be man created God in his own image. Because that is how a person is, so is the God of that person. There are, gods of different type of people, depending on their spiritual evolution, they are different. They are propitiated differently. And where from they got created? uh, by the thinking or imagination of those people. They wanted their God to be like this, like this, like this. And so, like a sculptor would make a nice image of what he or she would think to be very beautiful, very nice. So, according to that image, that idea, the image will get formed. So, and imagine that image now gets called God. Now, the God will be given all the attributes that yes, He is the creator of everything. So that God has created me as well. But that God is my idea. It is anthropomorphic in its essence, that we need a God to explain many, many questions that we have. And so, as are our questions, so is our God too. That suppose we have the God and that gives happiness to people. Okay, that God must have a lot of happiness that he distributes. So, like somebody to the kids would distribute candies. So, that is a happiness distributor God. Then some say, well, the God who uh, cares for everybody, so that is another God. All these gods have kind of problems also associated with how we make it. It is not always a perfect picture, and has problems means the existential problems really. That if the God is distributing happiness, then why there is so much suffering in the world? That it is. So the God is distributing suffering or God is distributing happiness? So if you define God as the distributor of happiness, then that God, the existence of God gets questioned by the facts that we experience. If you think of God that is in the heart of everybody, yes, there are some good, saintly people. We can understand that God is in their heart. But look at so many wicked, diabolical people in this world. Do you mean to say God is in them also? Oh, and according to our understanding of what is right, what is not right, whatever really brings pain to me, I feel that person is not right. So when a lady was telling, I can see God in everything except in my mother-in-law. Now, it is so it is because that is where she was getting all the that feeling. My problems are all, she is too bossy, she is, and so forth, whatever you may say. So it is, but that becomes, then how can God be there too? If God is in heart of everybody, then there comes this problem that what about all so many evil people? Is God in them? And if God is in them, why did they act like that? So that problem comes. So the theologians, they struggle with the answers to these questions. That God made this universe for what? There should be a purpose. And then if we do see people doing something without purpose, then we consider them not sane people. They're doing for nothing. So God also must be what? Insane. So how can that be God then? So that again creates this existential issues for God. That, and in many respects, the philosophers have struggled to accept that reality of God as it is. So we create God and ascribe to that God the quality of creator, that you be creator, but that creator has been product of our imagination. That, and therefore we have, as the persons, different people think of God, there are different concepts, because different people are creating differently. So my God like this, your God like that, your God like that. So therefore, to come to some common grounds on the basis of some God that we think my God becomes difficult. In that particular lecture, Vivekananda has tried to address many of these issues about God, see what common things are there. He says that each person wants to go beyond all limitations. The limitations that we feel that they are jarring. So, my ideal, my God, should be without any of those limitations. So, we cannot fly like birds. So, my God will have the wings that it can fly with those wings. My God will be able to go anywhere and everywhere. It is so. When these ideas they are taken up, the the common theme is that God who is beyond all limitations. And then when we abstract that, what it means then is that God is everywhere, because has no limitations whatever. So that God must be everywhere, and then that God must be in me too. It is so. The idea that we are God gradually it evolves through various stages. Uh, Swami Vivekananda mentions in that lecture that many would feel horrified to accept the logical conclusion of this train of thought that ultimately you come that the God is in me and in everyone, and so there is uh, nothing but God that alone is. This conclusion gradually is reached through thinking, and then you are left with no choice. Either you accept the God that is everything or no God. If you want God, then that God must be omnipresent, this thing, fully powerful, and omniscient. All knowledge should be there in that God. So that God, if you accept that, now the question comes, the relationship with that God, with me. God is everywhere, then the God is in me. So, God, in that sense, appears as human beings. In all beings, there is God. So, in all human beings, there is God. So, there it fits like this that God made human being in his own image. And so God is like us. This is a compulsion that we get. When we think of God, our anthropomorphic ideas, and they come up that yes, that God should be a human being which is more powerful than I am, and most powerful being, and can do anything. The ideas are very funny in that Swami Vivekananda says, suppose a cow is going to imagine God. What will be that cow's God? Will be a big, powerful cow. Because that is the limit that the cow can go up to. So, our human God also would be somebody who is a very powerful, big human being. And you can see in various that iconography for the images of God and so forth, that it is shown, for example, the image that we have like Vishnu. Very interesting imageries. Vishnu, that uh, is shown as human being, but more than that. And therefore, ordinary human beings have two hands. If you see suddenly somebody with four hands, you will feel very uneasy there. That it is, but to show that God is more than what human beings are, we attach two more hands to that God. We human beings have two, God have four. Then that image that God governs the universe, and without any labor on the part of God, without being, working hard, it is so simple for God. That is why the image is Vishnu is just reclining, and the administration is all done very, very smoothly. Can you imagine? Forget the whole universe. Even, say, small city like Providence, the mayor will have 1,000 worries all the time. So, therefore, cannot govern, just reclining like that. The idea is God does everything effortlessly. And because we want to show that while others they have to put in efforts, God doesn't need to put in efforts. He is all powerful, can do everything. So that is shown that he doesn't have to do any hard work to administer. So, like human being, but more than a human being. So you have again that very image of Vishnu. Reclining, I told, but on what that Vishnu reclines, you know? What, Charlie? What Vishnu reclines on? A couch? Huh? What is that Vishnu reclines on? Yes, a big snake. And not something that is very inviting for human beings. Forget on snake. Even if in that room, if somebody suspects there is a snake, you will not have sleep at all. But for Vishnu, it is a complete, total fearlessness and tremendous control. No. That is, if you see it as rope, that is a different matter. But but it is this big snake that is called Shesha. And there is a philosophical meaning to that word, Shesha. Means that which is the residue of all. Everything else is removed. What remains is that place of God, that which cannot be further removed, and that is Shesh. So, on that Shesh is reclining, and so that is then the image of, say, Shiva or Durga. You have, these humans, but more than humans. Durga is shown as riding a lion. Can any of us? No, if a toy lion may be okay, but or in the zoo, some zoos they have, okay, you can touch the lion, but still nobody goes to ride a lion. But Durga, yes, why it is shown that yes, more than our human idea, human, but added something. In fact, they are all what is called in arts surrealism. These are all examples of ancient surrealism. That human being, but added something that we imagine. So this is how human God is human and more than that. Then there is the uh, human being wants to, see, experience that divine, because by the very imagination, very making of the God, Now I am replacing the word imagination by making of the God. Human beings have made the God. Now that idea of the God should be that God is perfect. And that perfection is gradually reached as you become more and more aware of this perfection. As one spiritually evolves, your ideal, your God also evolves. So, therefore, those who are at the very primitive level of spiritual evolution, they pray to God, oh God, give me lot of money. God, please kill all my enemies and protect me from all diseases. And so many prayers. Uh, so prayers from God. So their God is, if you carefully see, what is God there then? The money is God, because God is wanted for money. So if you get money, then you don't need God, because you were seeking God for money. So money is more important than God. God is the means for money. So, God, make me free from all diseases. If you remain free from all diseases, then you don't need God. God was being prayed for that. So it is like that. It is thus that according to that evolution of that person is at this level, that I want many things of the world. And so God can give them, and if God gives them, then I love that God, not otherwise. It is so, but that person evolves further. That evolution is shown very nicely in Yatishwarananda's book, Meditation and Spiritual Life. And almost parallel, you will see that evolution in Cloud of Unknowing, a wonderful book written by a Christian mystic of 13th century. So there it is shown that almost all people are religious. Everybody has some idea of God. Human beings cannot live without the acceptance of an idea of God. You, even to negate that, you have an idea of God. And that is, I don't accept God. Means you have an idea of God already that you don't accept. So it is, all are in that sense religious. Moreover, everybody is afraid that this may happen, that may happen. So the idea of God or praying to God may provide an insurance without paying premium, that God will take care of it. So it is, that is another idea of God. But this is not really praying to God. This is praying to get something from God. God is the means to get something else. But one evolves through this. So this is also at one level important. That but one undergoes evolution. And when you think that, okay, that God therefore is more important than all that it gives. It is logical that God is repository of everything. So if I get God, I'll get all these things. So acquisition of God becomes then more important. This is a step in spiritual evolution. Then there is this next idea that God alone is really important. Why should I worry about other things? Forget it. It is the God becomes then most important. And then comes that spiritual step of ultimate evolution, that God is all that is. All that is God alone. That there is nothing else but God. So now we go from the lowest stage to the highest stage. At every stage, our ideal also evolves. As we evolve, so our ideal also evolves. So we gradually start seeing that the God as human and human being as God. We see that what is I is just same as God. There is no difference between that. So we become human and we become God. As we reach the highest level of being human, we realize the highest God dwelling in us. This is how we can see this, that there is a question discussed in many Upanishads, that how all this came about. Why did that God make this universe? Where from? And so forth. So, in Taittiriya Upanishad, I'll quote from there that Athato nu prashnaha, that there are these questions, that how all this came about. Many questions are there that some other time we will discuss that whole idea. But today I am interested only in how this universe then was brought about. Now, the answer is given to a human being. The sages are giving answer according to the level of human beings. And so they have to come down to our level. That how do we make anything? First, we have to feel the need for it. I need it. Then you make it. I need a house, I make it. I need a car, I make it. Everything in the universe is made. First, you have to feel the need. According to that need, then we make. So, God also did the same thing. What the God did the God do? So kamayata, that there is the desire. Akamayata. He had the desire that what? Bahusyam prajayeti. Let me become many. Let me have a lot of progeny. And so manifested as all this. It is this God, divine, out of like that yes, we have the need and so we produce something. God had the need that let me become many. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this is stated as with slightly different words. In Nasadiya Suktam, again it is stated in a different way. But in all these things, what is the primary thing is the kamana, the desire, that there is this desire, and as per the desire, that gets produced. Bhahusyam prajayeti. So, and what do you do? Only having desire doesn't mean you get it. There is the process that has to undergo. You work for it. You have to work. So, okay, God also worked. God's work, how? It is called as satapotapyata. That God did some hard work and thus got all these things coming out of that. So, uh, all the dualities. This is very common with the biblical idea that you see in Genesis creation, that all one got broken into two counterparts, as it were. God first made day and night, light and darkness, and so forth. That it is that the things have been split like that. And so here also you see those things getting split. And you thus see that the whole creation has just come up through by God. This is how God made it. But the questions do not get fully satisfied. That okay, got the desire, but then uh, was that desire fulfilled? No, that um, if it is fulfilled, then the creation must stop. But it keeps on going further, keeps on going. So the desire as such, and God's desire keeps on, and so creation keeps on. That is how that idea is expressed, that because it is to be explained to a human being. So as we do, so our God also will do. We feel that it should be done, that desire, so God has the desire, God did this. But to show that all this is, in all this, God alone is, because there is nothing else, everything came out of that God. So it is shown that all these dualities or the conflicts, they really merge. It is one split into apparent two without really splitting. So this comes now to the next stage where the one sees, starts seeing, starts feeling that God is in me. There is this knowledge of that. God is in me. And now that feeling has to become an experience or realization. One sees this is a spiritual evolution continuing, that I want to see that God. I want to experience that God. It has, from the information level, it has to come to the level of experience and realization. I want to see that God. So, what should I do for that now? And that becomes a question for us, an aspirant. I understand that God is everywhere, God is in everything, and God also is unlimited. But how can I experience that? Because experience alone brings conviction. Otherwise, there are always doubts. This may happen like that, that may happen like that. In all our knowledge in the world, there are doubts. That is why it gets called empirical knowledge. Or somebody was telling me a nice word, sounds very scientific, and therefore we get the idea that it must be correct. These are data driven conclusions. Means what? Whatever data we have got so far is an important word. It indicates that these are the conclusions. But the data is still coming, and the new data will probably refute the conclusions that you now have. So that is quite possible. It is therefore there are these doubts about that. That what is this truth? We Imagine we use our methods, but a complete answer which is beyond all doubts, and therefore comes not through theorization, not through logic. And logic has doubts, maybe like this, maybe like this. Mm. Our one doctor gives me medicines for I'm getting cramps. I have shown to many doctors. One doctor says take this, and then after I take it for some time, I said thank you for, but it is not going away. Oh, then take this. If this is not working, then take that. Then if that is also not working, take that. So this is the that according to trial and error. So, but if something clicks, that okay, taking this now it has worked, then I accept. Hey, this is not out of logic, but out of experience. So the experience of God, one has to come to experience. And that is how the birth of the experimental science. It is like from Galileo and so forth. It is a new revolution that not by theory but through experience. You make experiment and verify that it is that famous idea that there is a wooden ball and an iron ball, same size, and then if you drop it down from a building, which one will hit the ground first? Many would say just instinctively, oh, iron is heavy, so iron ball would hit the ground first. Really? Oh, okay. Then Galileo decided to make an experiment. Went to that. This is anecdotal, really happened or not, who knows? But there is a tower at that pizza. And then from that, he dropped two balls identical in shape, but made of different materials, heavy and light. And they hit the ground at the same time. Now, whatever your theories might be, they have to be discarded. Many times the science got ruled by theories, which later experiments showed in that it is wrong, it is not correct at all. So that is where the experience comes in. Shankaracharya gives the value of this experience that suppose even 1,000 these Vedas or scriptures, 1,000 these quotes on the Vedas tell you that the fire is very cool, very nice. It is cold, the fire. I don't think Charlie is going to accept that because the experience contradicts it. Yeah, well, that day I touched the hot plate and I still am feeling the burning sensation. How can I believe that the fire is this cool like that? No, it is. So, therefore, the experience. How can we get that experience? And we must be ready to perform experiment to get that experience. That is how we learn that from the great sages and of course scriptures. How do we get that? The beautiful chant that we had, the opening chant, that describes it. That chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and his glories. This is the and that composition of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So tells that okay, chant. You have to do that so that you will develop the association. Name has that power. You think of the name of some beloved, automatically you start feeling the presence of that. My dear mom. And immediately you start feeling the presence of that. That is how the name becomes the very, very powerful tool, friends. That if we repeat the name, then we get repeated this contact. And what it does, that says that the mirror of the heart may be cleansed of all its dross. That the dross on the heart, they are all the desires. And the desires interfere with our conclusions. It is, we are not then aloof and uh, just observers. Our desires color the observations. So to see the God, therefore, let all that dross be removed. And more something happens. The forest fires of desires be quenched, and we are burning inside. That is again a practical experience. What does do the desires do to us? We feel the sensation of this lacking something, and we are then being driven to various things that to fulfill that. It is the desires, they create a fire in us, that and that keeps on burning in us, that, "Oh, I want this, I have to get this." And you can see how Lord Buddha has described that it is desires. He says that to his disciple Ananda is the big conflagration in the forest. uh, is that greater, or the burning that people feel in their heart because of unsatisfied desires is more? And he says, "Verily I tell you, that is bigger than the forest conflagration." So, this is how to pull it down. Uh, it is the common idea for the people who practice, say, the path of knowledge. Just by thinking, uh, discernment, give it up. But almost all people are not capable of doing it. Their desires don't seem to go anywhere. We have to then use the technique. And the technique is the name of God. Sri Ramakrishna told to one of his disciples, he asked how this lust will come down. A lot of lust. So, how this lust will go? He thought that Sri Ramakrishna will show some trick or some kind of this hatha yogic practice. Do this, and like that. Sri Ramakrishna told, take the name of God, and that will do. He thought Sri Ramakrishna doesn't know anything. That is, but then he thought, what does it cost anyway? Let me try. And that really works. And take the name of the God, and these desires, they come down because these are all apparent desires. Our real desire is that source of bliss, and which we have imagined outside but is actually within, that gets all quenched by this name of the Lord. The process is gradual. Gradual means depends on one's capability and how hard we practice it. If we practice it more intensely, the result will come faster. Like how long does it take to walk from here to say at the canal about half a mile distance. How long will it take? It depends on how fast you walk, dear. It is, yeah. So, how much time will it take? Depends on how quickly you do it and how intensely you do it. So, and it is, and you see that this forest fire is all gone. And it is so simple, he says, what does it cost? It is so simple, the name of the Lord. And there is not one. If you don't like one, choose another one. Infinite are thy names. And in each name, that is tremendous idea. In each name, you have put all your power is invested in each of those names. What a wonderful thing. And you can do it anywhere, everywhere, at all the time. No times or places are prescribed for that. And yet he says, well, still the misfortune that we have is I am not developing the taste for it. So it is, he calls it misfortune. Why? Because that is the situation. But because nobody likes to have misfortune. So gradually you work so that instead of misfortune, it becomes a successful fortune. That yes, we start seeing that by chanting this name of God. And thus we become God. We become united, one with that divine experience. This is a practical science that one actually can realize. So, God becomes man. That is the idea in the what is called God incarnation. And God becomes man so that man may become God. Even without that incarnating God incarnation, that idea, why we think of God, that is in a way incarnation of God. We create God. And then that God makes us go through all the problems of life, and we become ultimately that God. So this is how the whole idea goes. I would suggest that you can go through that beautiful lecture of Vivekananda, very sublime talk, that Maya and the theory of the or Maya and the concept, evolution of the concept of God, Maya and the evolution of the concept of God in the book Jnana Yoga. So thank you, friends. And yes, that little baby said, enough today. So think about it, and if you have some questions, feel free to ask. Any questions, friends? Is our Abhishek there? Abhishek always has interesting questions.
Hello. Maharaj, one form is becoming another form, and the other form changes to another form. And this, due to this change, one can say it gives rise to time and in some sense space. But the sole reason why a form changes into another, one can say, is due to an energy which is not directly touching these forms, but it is the sole cause why these forms are changing and then giving, which in turn gives rise to time and space. So my question is then, why is energy or in our world, the sun is not equivalent to consciousness.
Well, if you feel like that, you can say that is consciousness. Sun is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. So why exclude sun from being conscious? Consciousness, see, therefore, in the Upanishadic literature, there is the same common word is used for energy and consciousness. Prana. Prana means both. In some context, it is described as the energy or power. In some other context, that is described as consciousness. Like in Mundak Upanishad, that very nice verse, Prano hi esha sarva bhutair vibhati. It is described as consciousness. And then prano, pana, apana, udana, all that is the different sorts of that energy manifestations. So both are true. Yeah, and the sun is consciousness. Because yes, that consciousness manifests as the particular form of energy. Exactly. Thank you. Any other question? Any question up there?
Yes, Maharaj, one question. Question from Nancy. Namaste, Swami.
Namaste, Nancy.
Do we have to chant same name each time, or can we do Ram one day, Hari Om another day, etc.?
That is a good question asked by many. That it is the answer is do one name till that name brings the result into experience. What happens, Sri Ramakrishna used to give a good analogy that taking different names at different times, you will not have concentration or intensity in any name. And he used to say that suppose a man started, digging well. He had a nice yard and thought that to remove the water scarcity, let me dig well. And dug in one spot 2 feet, and then thought that maybe other spot would be better. So started digging another place, dug about 4 or 5 feet there, and then thought, let me give try to another. So he made 10, 12 holes like that, spoiled the whole yard, no water. Had the fellow got deep, say 30 feet, 40 feet, would have struck water. So it is therefore important that one should stick to a name. And that is actually why one should get the name from the Guru. Why the name should be gotten from the Guru is then you will stick to it. If you choose it yourself, then being chosen by you may think, and today I will choose this, tomorrow I will choose this, on Monday I will take the name of Shiva, it is Shiva's day, so while Monday I will take the name of Shiva, on Tuesday I will take the name of Durga, Wednesday I will take the name of this. Nothing, happens therefore, because there is no power in any name, then it is all distributed and lost. So this is, certainly it is important to hold on to one name, knowing that one name contains the substance of all names. It is not one name, then another name for something else. No, all are names of God. And so if you call by any name, you are calling God. But you have to call with that intensity. Then only it will have the power. So one name And not that the other names are to be discarded, they are to be considered as included in that particular name. That is how I learned it. Any other question there? So, friends, let us, coming week, we will have the Tuesday, Friday classes and meditations and all as usual. Then Saturday also our guided meditation and other thing will happen. All other programs will go on. But on coming Sunday, it is the Easter Sunday, and we are having a wonderful guest speaker, Pravrajika Shuddhatma Prana. So she will be giving the Easter talk on the topic, My Peace I Give to You. That is the ultimate blessing of Jesus. My peace I give to you. And then after that, because I will be away for some time, and we have an array of great speakers. That is why many suggest me, you go away so that we will get some very nice speakers to listen to. So it is Tuesday, same Shuddhatma Prana will be giving this Tuesday class. Then on Sunday, there will be the talk by Chester Bonsek that, hey, do you have the April flyer? We have printed, but it is not here because it is still March. So it is about some humor. So then on next Sunday, there is a real interesting talk. One Rabbi Barry Dollinger, will be speaking on, guess what? He will be speaking on reincarnation in Kabbalah. So then after that, the 21st, our wonderful volunteer and a spiritual practitioner, highly well-read person, will be giving a talk on Girnar visits his tour of, thank you, his tour of Gujarat in India. So it is a kind of a travelogue with spiritual charm associated. So this is, and then we will have retreat, spiritual retreat that is coming up, but by Swami Atmajnananda Ji. So he will be also giving this talk on Sunday. For attending spiritual retreat, please sign up for that. So, now we have the concluding prayer. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Now there will be our regular Arati. After that, there is today a music concert arranged. Our friend and a wonderful musician of very special type. He plays the Indian classical ragas on saxophone, and he has performed here so many times. So he will be performing that will be downstairs. So please, after Arati, please proceed downstairs. Arati will be here. You can be here and join in, or you can go inside there in the shrine. But for that, please, you remove the footwear to go inside. And then after that, there will be supper after the concert. So thank you, friends.
Breaker of all our bondage and adored by all, we adore you too. Stainless Lord, assuming human form. Stainless Lord, assuming human form, transcendent yet filled with love. You free us from the stain of sin and ornament our world. Consciousness is your form. Your eyes always purified by knowledge. Your eyes always purified by knowledge. Looking at them, delusion is gone. Ocean of shining love and feeling, ever inebriated in your infinite love. Your feet always dear to your devotee. Your feet always dear to your devotees. Form our boat to cross this world. Revealed to us as God incarnate and the Lord of all things, helping us join with you. Your mind's always set in the divine light. Your mind's always set in the divine light. This we can see through your grace. Destroyer of worldly sorrow and compassion soul, infinite is the world. Your life's offered for the world's deliverance. Your life's offered for the world's deliverance, saving us from darkness and fear. Renouncer of all lust and lucre, therefore you were always spurning sensual life. Lord of monks, you are the best of men. Lord of monks, you are the best of men. Grant to us pure love for you. You're fearless and you're free from doubting, with your mind very firmly resolved. your devotees, causeless refuge of your devotees, renouncing caste and birth. Our treasure is your holy feet, which take us very soon across this puddle of life. You give love and even-sightedness. You give love and even-sightedness to remove our anguish here. Our treasure is your holy feet, which take us very soon across this puddle of life. You give love and even-sightedness. You give love and even-sightedness to remove our anguish here. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Yet you are the basis of both. O Lord, yet you are the basis of both. Great light of all lights, blessing in the heartscape. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Darkness is destroyed by your light. Oh Lord, darkness is destroyed by your light. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Yet you are the basis of both. O Lord, yet you are the basis of both. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Darkness is destroyed by your light. Oh Lord, darkness is destroyed by your light. Langa, ranga, bhanga, these are all the sounds of mridanga. Langa, ranga, bhanga, these are all the sounds of mridanga. Spiritual songs, devotees are singing for your worship divine. Spiritual songs, devotees are singing for your worship divine. Jaya Hara, Jaya, your worship divine. Hara Hara, for your worship divine. Shiva Shiva, for your worship divine. Breaker of all our early bondage, and adored by all, we adore you too. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Auspicious and blessed graciousness sublime, all noble ends you give to us, granting us refuge, all seeing God. O Mother Divine, our love to you. Creation, preservation, dissolution are your powers, eternal one. Nature's real basis, nature's essence. O Mother Divine, our love to you. We come seeking refuge from anguish. Be our Savior through your deep concern. All our suffering remove, Goddess. O Mother Divine, our love to you. Victory, O Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Jai Shri Ram Krishna Dev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Sarda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Shri Swami Vivekananda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Buddhadev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Jesus Christ Ki Jai.